Hello everyone. Today I am going to be going over our different rotations to try and help you learn them a little better. I know they can be pretty confusing. Some different ways that you can practice these and learn them. Watch this video as many times as you need to. Get a piece of paper, write them out, do it with the video as it goes through, and then quiz yourself, see if you can write them all out. Or even you can get like a whiteboard and draw a volleyball court on it and get like 6 little magnets and move the magnets around if that helps you a little bit better, or whatever you need to do to learn them. Okay, so our rotations 1 and 4 will always be the same when we're running a 6-2. So a 6-2 is when we have 2 different setters on the court, and the one in the back row will be the official setter. So rotation 1 and 4, the setter will be serving. So this will be the serving order always. Setter, outside, middle, opposite or the right side hitter, the outside or DS, and then the middle back or the libero. So we have our bases down here. This will be the same no matter what. Setter for 6-2 will always have the base, back row, right side. Outsides have the middle back defense, so it's a little different than what you think it would be. And middle backs, or the libero, will be on the left side. Outside hitters go on the outside, middles go in the middle, opposites go on the right side. So we have 2 different serve receive options. Actually, we have more than 2, but these are the 2 main ones that we are going to learn. So the first is called setter push. So that is when the setter is going to come up and push the person in front of them up to the net and hang out right there. So this is the better of the 2 options because we want our setter to have the quickest way to get to target. So that is the absolute quickest way for them to get to target. So for setter push, we have a couple options. So we can move the middle back over, and our middle from the front can drop back. So the only rules here, the setter has to be to the right of this person. Okay, so this person can't be all the way over here. They have to stay on this side of the setter. So if the setter needs to be all the way over here for better passing to happen, that can happen. If the front row person is dropping back, they have to stay in front of the back row people. So that is one option, dropping the middle back. Or we could slide the whole back row over here and the right side can drop back. So if we are doing this, as soon as the serve happens, the setter will release to target, and then everybody will release to hit. So the outside is actually going to stay and hit right side for 1, middle will stay, and the right side will hit outside. Okay? So this is just for serve receive. So say this person passes, goes to the setter, setter sets the opposite, or the right side hitter. But they are hitting on the outside, and then as soon as the ball goes back over, we are switching. So you will go to base. So this person goes here, this person will be here, outside will run all the way over, if they don't forget their leg, to their base. And then these will go to their bases back here, and setter will drop back. So the other option is setter pull. So that is when the setter will back up and pull this outside back with them. So this one is going to be like our last resort, because if a team is smart, they will serve right here to mess up the setter running to target. Okay, so the outside has to stay in front of the other back row players, and the setter has to stay to the right of them. So the setter can't be hanging out over here. They have to be over here because it's the serving order. So setter serves and then the outside serves. So they have to be in that order of the court. Now our middle will stay up at the net, and our right side will drop back here. Okay. Same thing Right side will stay over here and hit one. Outside will come up and hit on the right side for one. Once the ball goes back over the net, they will switch and go to their base. Okay, 6-2 rotations, 2 and 5 are exactly the same. So we rotated 1. So the setter is now middle back, and our outside person will be serving. So our base is the same. Everybody goes where they're supposed to be. It will always be the same. But serve receive number 1, the outside is going to drop back. Okay, so for both of these serve receives for this rotation, the setter is going to come all the way up behind the right side hitter. Now this one is called outside drops, so middle back will scoot over, but they have to be on this side of the setter. They cannot cross over the setter. So they'll come over. If we need to, we can scoot these people over to help with passing. And the outside will drop back, be in front of the rest of the back row. And then this middle is going to drop back just a little bit. All right, so after the serve receive happens, outside will come up and hit on the outside. And then the middle will come straight over, hit out of the middle. Right side will come back and hit from the right side. Okay, our other serve receive option is when the middle drops. So same thing, setter comes up behind the opposite. They're both going to scoot over just a little bit. Actually, no, this time they'll have to scoot over this way. So the outside will scoot over, but they have to be on this side of the setter. And the middle will drop back and be in front of that back row. Okay, so rotations 3 and 6 are the same for a 6-2. So re-rotated, setter is on the left side or in the 5, and a middle is going to be serving now. So serve receive option 1, outside drops. So for this one, setter's going to come all the way up here behind the middle. They're both going to hang out all the way against this line, but you have to stay inside of the court, so you can't have like 1 foot outside. You can be all the way up as close to the line as you can. Okay, so this one outside drops. So this outside is going to slide over, and the front row outside hitter is going to drop back in the middle in front of the other back row players. Opposite will just hang out a little bit in front of the 10-foot line, ready to catch anything that lands off the net. Okay, serve receive option 2, the opposite or the right side drops. So same thing, the middle and the setter will be over here. But now the whole back row is going to shift over, and the right side will drop back down here. Okay, so that is all of our 6-2 rotations. Now the only thing that will change if we're doing a 5-1 is we will have the same setter all the way around. So after rotation 3 here, we will rotate to rotation 4, and the setter would become front row. And then our opposite hitter would come back in the back row and serve, or we would have a DS there. So our serve receive is a little different. So we want the setter to get as close to target as possible. So setter is going to come stand in the middle. The middle is going to be right behind them, but they have to stay to the right of them. And then the outside is going to drop back behind, kind of on the 10-foot line, and be ready to shoot across to hit on the outside. Back row stays exactly the same. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, say somebody in the back row loses their head and they can't serve receive for a moment. So that's okay. It happens. We have a couple things that we can do. So say this person isn't passing necessarily good. So we have our serve receive option 2. So our middle will come back, our setter will come over. So let's say this person isn't passing very well. We can drop them all the way back, and we can drop this outside back to pass. Okay? Or same goes for any of the other ones. So say this person isn't doing too well. We can drop them back, scoot these 2 over, and then still drop that outside back. It works for any of them. So if somebody's not having a necessarily great time serve receiving, we can always adjust to do better. Okay, base stays the same, but this time setter will be in the front row, so they will be blocking. So then they will turn around and have to find the pass, and this person will stay right side defense. Okay, rotation 5, so setter is here in the middle front. They would just step on over to target. Middle will step right behind them, and outside will stay where they are, but they can drop off just a little bit to catch anything that hits the net and rolls over. Alright, well that's serve receive. Well, let's just pretend I did that over here. Alright, so we're staying like that. So that's serve receive number 1. So say, same thing, say somebody isn't passing too great. Say it's this person. We just scoot them back, and the outside will drop back. Okay, setter still goes to target, middle scoots on over. Okay, say then this person isn't passing too great. We could also drop them back and have the middle drop back. We probably won't have both of them dropped back, so we can put the outside back up, bring the middle back up. Okay, base is the same, setter front row, right side back row. Last rotation is 6, so setter is already at their base. So they can just scoot on over to closer to target, and then we will have our middle come stand over basically in the middle, and the outside is going to just take a little step back, and they will just slide on over once the serve happens. Okay. So as soon as the serve is hit, this person is coming over here. Now say somebody in the back row isn't passing great. Let's do outside this time. So we just drop them back, and then we could drop either the middle or the outside back. It'll probably end up being the outside, and outside just drops back in front of them. Okay, so this kind of thing, when we're dropping random people, we'll just yell, like, hey, whoever's on the front row, swing back. This person is on the back row, scoot back. Okay, so we generally give you a couple tries, and then if you're still not passing the ball very well, we'll scoot you back. Okay, but next time you'll get a better chance. Okay, so I know these can be very confusing. Please, please, please practice them. We will practice them in practice. But it is very important for you to not know where you are at all times in the court and where everybody else is. So you really need to learn all of the rotations, because we will be using a 5-1 and a 6-2 this year.